Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Say What podcast. Today's episode is going to be all about renewable energy professionals, or REPs. We'll be talking about what the process is to become one, what the certification means, and why should you choose someone with those credentials. Today, I am here with Mike Zora, who is a senior strategic energy advisor and a certified energy manager at Renewable Energy. He is also a renewable energy professional himself. Thank you for being on today's episode with me, Mike.
Jill, thanks for having me.
So let's get right into the first question I want to ask you, which is, what is an REP, or renewable energy professional?
An REP is an energy manager that has chosen to focus on energy generation, production, storage technologies, and strategies that are considered green, clean, renewable, sustainable. So, energy generation, think solar, storage technology in terms of batteries and renewable energy credits. So anything in that clean, renewable, sustainable realm, and renewable energy professional can help manage that in terms of energy.
So can you tell our listeners a little bit more about the process of becoming REP and where you got the certification from?
Sure. So REP stands for Renewable Energy Professional, and the AEE, or Association of Energy Engineers, issues the certification after completion of their rep training course and also passing a 4-hour examination on all things green energy. So I attended the course over 4 days and then reviewed all the materials for the exam. It covered solar and wind and geothermal, hydro, RECs, tidal power, and a lot more. So basically anything green energy related, it was covered on that exam.
So what made you want to try and achieve this certification, and would you recommend it to other people?
That's a great question. I've been passionate about everything kind of green and sustainable for a long time, whether personal life, we recycle quite a bit. I do a lot of stuff outdoors, nature-wise, a lot of gardening and organic materials and things like that. But when it comes to green energy, I had a client early on in my career purchase renewable energy credits, and they were very passionate about it. So it was important to me to achieve these credentials in order to help other companies achieve their sustainability goals. So, whether it's the right fit for someone else to go after it, they have to be passionate about green energy and helping others achieve their sustainability goals. So it is a long process. It can be a little bit intense, but I learned a ton more about green energy than I thought I ever would. So it helps me in all these other conversations I'm having now with people trying to achieve all these various goals they have, which is obviously great for us and the environment.
So how can an REP help our listeners in their organizations?
So basically, renewable energy professionals can help organizations set their renewable energy goals. They help them identify green energy projects. They also help maximize benefits for renewable energy systems. So setting energy goals like whether it's carbon free, carbon neutral, efficiency goals, reducing energy consumption, green energy projects. Maybe you want to do hard assets like solar or wind, or maybe it's just buying renewable energy credits to help offset some of your electricity generation. So number of different things renewable energy professionals can help with their sustainability goals.
Would you be able to give us a few real life examples of how an REP can use their expertise to help our listeners in their organizations?
Yeah, be happy to. So, one on a smaller scale that we helped recently was a organization that wanted to offset all their electricity generation for this year, and we helped them procure renewable energy credits to offset all of their usage across various facilities. and it helped them achieve some of their goals for this year. On a larger scale, think of something like a big solar array, where you want to offset a bunch of usage for a big facility that you have roof space for. And you can do the solar array, you can pair that with battery storage, so you can store some of that generation that you have as well. And basically, we help identify all the incentives and rebates for the batteries and the solar. Maybe it's electric vehicle charging as well. There's a lot of incentives for that. So those are all things, real life examples we can help facilities achieve.
I know that throughout this episode, we have talked a couple of times about renewable and green energy. Would you say that companies are more now than ever wanting to reduce their carbon footprint?
Well, there certainly is a lot more conversation around sustainability, green, and ESG now than in previous years. So many companies have set sustainability goals, some very ambitious, some not so ambitious, but there definitely is a lot more conversation about it at the corporate level, and that's trickling down to a lot of facilities, especially with companies that have them scattered, throughout North America or even globally. So some just want to reduce their carbon footprint, or some want to go completely carbon neutral. Others have talked about the green assets that we talked about, like the solar on their buildings or property. And some simply will just want to purchase renewable energy credits to neutralize their electricity consumption. So the important thing is there is a lot more conversation about it. There's a lot more focus on doing better things for our environment. And it's very gratifying to see those conversations take place, and very satisfying for me to be part of them.
Well, thank you, Mike, for joining me on today's episode. I know that I learned a lot, and I hope our listeners learned a lot as well.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. And thank you to everyone listening, and stay tuned for our next podcast.